battle me and find out for yourself.
I thought you would never ask.
Now we shall finally discover which one of us is the true Galaxy Eyes Master! Let us duel!
Tachyons ain't the only Galaxy Eyes deck around. Galaxy Photon is incredibly powerful, and after the ban list takes effect, you guys should watch out because this deck's boards are absolutely insane, and it's so damn good at playing through interruptions and going for game. Dude, if you thought Tachyon's skill was broken, just wait until you see the Galaxy Photon skill. This deck focuses on rank 8 dragon plays, and the whole deck is built around setting these up to make a board that is not only difficult for the opponent to break, but may also make it hard for the opponent to set up their own board. Let's talk about what this deck's trying to do. Quick disclaimer, this deck doesn't need Photon Sanctuary. This deck's aim is to set up these 3 monsters on their end board. Star Liege Photon Blast Dragon, Galaxy Eyes Soul Flare Dragon, and Divine Dragon Knight Felgrand. Star Liege Photon Blast Dragon is a rank 4 dragon, and when you Xyz summon him, he can special summon a Photon monster from your hand, making him great to keep your combos going. And while you control him, your opponent can't target or destroy any of your monsters that have 2k or more attack, basically meaning that your Galaxy Eyes Soul Flare Dragon and your Divine Dragon Knight Felgrand are untargetable and indestructible. He himself is only 1800 attack, so he's not going to be as protected. Technically though, there is a way we can boost his attack so he does protect himself, but we'll talk about that later. Galaxy Eyes Soul Flare Dragon is a Link 2 that on summon will get back a Photon or Galaxy monster from grave to hand. So he is great for recoverability and extending your plays further. And he also has the effect during your opponent's turn to discard a Photon card and a Galaxy card to destroy a special summon monster. Or you could just discard Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon by himself instead. This is going to be the first interruption we go for in this deck. Destroying the opponent's monsters in the middle of their combos can be really annoying. And he can set up his own discard fodder by adding Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon from grave to hand. Lastly, Divine Dragon Knight Felgrand is a rank 8 warrior who has the quick effect to detach a material and negate a monster, but also make that monster unaffected by card effects. You could use this as an interruption, negating your opponent's monster effect, or as a protective card, making your own monster unaffected by card effects for the turn. We are aiming to get all 3 of these guys out onto the field at the same time so that we have a quick effect negation, a quick effect destruction, and having both of those untargetable and indestructible so they can't turn those negates off with Chalice, Book of Moon, or Dark Hold. How are we going to set these guys up though? This deck has a lot of combo potential, and it's really made super consistent and powerful with a new skill, Photon Dragon Advent. The skill has 2 effects, and they can each only be used 1 time. I'm not going to talk about the skill word for word because the way it's translated is a bit weird, and in some places a bit wrong, and there are some things about the skill that are kinda irrelevant, so I'm just going to be talking about what the skill will literally do for you rather than what it could hypothetically do. First, let's get the restrictions out of the way. You can play what you like in your extra deck, but when it comes to main deck monsters, you can't special summon any unless they are from the Photon archetype or the Galaxy archetype. This really isn't going to mean anything to us, to be honest, because that's all we're going to do anyway. The first part of the skill requires that you have Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon or Galaxy Knight in your hand. You reveal it, and then you can add 2 differently named monsters from deck to hand out of these 3, Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, Galaxy Knight, and Galaxy Brave. Being able to reveal 1 to add the other 2 is great, but for a bit of context, let's talk about these guys real quick. Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon can be special summoned by tributing 2 monsters with 2k or more attack, and if he's involved in a battle, he can banish himself and the attack target until the end of the turn. That summoning effect isn't something we are going to need to use in this deck, but that battle effect might be nice to get something out of the way to make attacking for game easier. Galaxy Knight can normal summon itself without tributes if you already control a Photon or Galaxy monster, and then if he's normal summoned, you get to revive Galaxy Eyes from your grave. This pairs up nicely with the skill because after you add 2 cards, The skill lets you discard a card from your hand, so you could potentially use the skill to discard Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. So when you normal summon this, you'll already be able to revive Galaxy Eyes. He can't be normal summoned without tributes if you don't already have a Photon or Galaxy monster on the field. That's where Galaxy Brave comes in. If he's in your hand, he can reveal any Photon monster in hand in order to special summon himself, and then he will become that revealed monster's level. Naturally, he is level 8, but if you reveal a level 8, he will stay level 8, and if you reveal a level 4, he will become a level 4. On summon, he can also gain attack equal to a Galaxy monster in your grave, like for example the Galaxy Eyes engraved that you might have discarded to the grave with a skill. The big idea with this part of the skill is that you have either Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon or Galaxy Knight, then you can reveal it to add the other two that you don't have from deck to hand. Then if you have no other way to get Galaxy Eyes engraved, you could discard the Galaxy Eyes, but if you do have another way to discard it, then you can instead keep it in hand for that. Then you can reveal the Galaxy monster in hand to special summon your Brave, which could count as the Galaxy monster on field so that Galaxy Knight can normal summon himself, revive Galaxy Eyes, and then you can go for a rank 8 Xyz play. If this were all that the deck did though, we wouldn't be able to set up our end board. This only puts 3 monsters on the board, so you can only really make 1 Xyz, rather than the 2 Xyz and a Link monster. And none of these guys are even level 4, so you aren't even going to be able to go into the Starleash Photon Blast Dragon. That's why we also gotta play other Galaxy and Photon extension pieces in our deck, to give us more bodies on the board to make our plays, and to give us more consistency. First, let's focus on how we make a rank 4 play. If we want to make our rank 4 Starleash Photon Blast Dragon, we are going to need 2 level 4s. Thanks to Galaxy Brave though, we are only going to need 1 level 4, since the Galaxy Brave could reveal it in hand to summon itself, and then he himself will become level 4. The 2 level 4s we can play in this deck are Photon Orbital and Photon Vanisher. Photon Orbital has an effect in hand or on field during the main phase to equip himself to a Photon or Galaxy monster you control, and that monster will gain 500 attack. That means that if you can equip him to Starleash Photon Blast Dragon, he'll be 2300 attack, which is more than 2k attack, so he will be then granting himself on-target ability and indestructibility. Photon Orbital does have another effect while equipped though, that he can send himself to the grave to search for any Photon or any Galaxy monster. This search is going to be pretty useful, especially if this is the level 4 that you reveal in order to special summon Galaxy Brave. You'll be able to equip this to search for another level 4, or you could search for any other extension piece that you're missing. Normally we want to search for Photon Vanisher, who can special summon himself if you control a Photon or Galaxy monster, and if summoned, he will search for a copy of Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. If you reveal Vanisher with Galaxy Brave, Brave will come down as a level 4, then Photon Vanisher can special summon itself and search for Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, and you'll have 2 level 4s in the field to go into Starleash Photon Blast Dragon. If you reveal Photon Orbital though, then Brave will still come down as a level 4, but then you'll equip the Orbital and have it search for Vanisher, then special summon the Vanisher, get the Galaxy Eyes search, and you'll still have 2 level 4s on the board. The reason it's important to get that Galaxy Eyes search is that once you Xyz summon your rank 4 Blast Dragon, its on summon effect is going to special summon that Galaxy Eyes from the hand. Keep in mind that everything you've done so far hasn't required any normal summon, and since Blast Dragon is a Photon monster, you'll still be able to normal summon Galaxy Knight later on in your play. What you do next may depend on what you have available in your hand. If you have no other extension plays in your hand other than the Galaxy Knight, then summon the Blast Dragon to the extra monster zone. Have it summon Galaxy Eyes from hand, and then you can normal summon the Galaxy Knight so that it can revive another Galaxy Eyes for an Xyz play. And that will be the end of the play. If you do have another extension play though, then you can summon Blast Dragon to your main monster zone, have it summon Galaxy Eyes from hand, and then that Galaxy Eyes and whatever other monster you have on field can go into a Link summon. What other monster would that be though? Galaxy Soldier can discard any light monster to special summon himself. Nice and easy special summon in this deck that adds so many light monsters to the hand. This may even be the way that you discard your Galaxy Eyes to the grave to be revived later with Galaxy Knight. Soldier himself is actually searchable with Orbital 2 if you already have Vanisher, and then the Galaxy Soldier, when he is special summoned, will add another Galaxy monster to hand, replacing his own discard cost and potentially getting you the Galaxy monster that you need to activate the skill. If you're able to use Galaxy Soldier before your other plays or after your other plays, then you'll have it alongside Galaxy Eyes to Link summon Galaxy Eyes Soul Flare Dragon, who on summon will then add back the Galaxy Eyes from grave to hand so that it can be used as discard fodder on the opponent's turn for the Soul Flare destruction effect. You'll still have another Galaxy Eyes engraved from either discarding it with a skill or discarding it with one of this deck's discard effects, so don't worry, you'll still be able to use Galaxy Knight's revival effect. If you already have a Galaxy Eyes in hand to discard though, then Soul Flare could instead add Orbital from grave back to hand so that it can be equipped to your Blast Dragon to give it untargetability and indestructibility. Now you'll have a Soul Flare and a Blast Dragon on board, both of which are a Photon Photon or a Galaxy monster, and you won't have used your normal summon yet, so you can then normal summon Galaxy Knight to revive Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon and go into the rank 8 Felgrand, and there you'll have your whole board. We went a bit back and forth there, so let's explain the combo once again. Use the skill to reveal your Galaxy Knight or your Galaxy Eyes, and have the skill search the two pieces you're missing between Galaxy Knight, Galaxy Eyes, and Galaxy Brave. Discard Galaxy Eyes with a skill only if you have no other way of discarding it, but if you have a way to discard it in hand, then use it for that instead. Have Galaxy Brave reveal a level 4 to special summon itself as a level 4, and if that level 4 is orbital, have it search for Vanisher, special summon Vanisher and search another copy of Galaxy Eyes, then rank 4 into Blast Dragon in the main monster zone, and have Blast Dragon special summon Galaxy Eyes from hand. Using Galaxy Eyes and another extender, link summon Soul Flare Dragon, and have it add back Galaxy Eyes to hand for an interruption. Unless you already have another in hand, then add back Orbital to equip to Blast Dragon. Then you can normal summon Galaxy Knight, revive Galaxy Eyes, and Xyz summon Felgrand. Boom, there's your opening board. There may be a few different ways to get this started, but it's always going to follow the same general path, so rewatch this section of the video if you feel like you need to memorize it. A lot of decks can set up a really great turn 1 opening play. That's pretty basic. You could think of like 50 decks that can set up 2 interruptions turn 1. Just because this deck does so while also making him untargetable and indestructible isn't going to immediately make it the best deck ever. What really sets this deck apart is that it has a super strong board, but it also has a really good going second plan and a good follow-up plan, and it's pretty easy too. When you're going second, you're pretty much going to be able to do the exact same combo that you already learned about, but you might not go into Felgrand. You might instead go into the Galaxy Eyes Xyz package, which consists of Galaxy Eyes Cypher Dragon, Galaxy Eyes Full Armor Photon Dragon, and Galaxy Eyes Cypher Blade Dragon. The basic idea of this package is that you can summon the rank 8 Galaxy Eyes Cypher Dragon, who can detach a material to steal a monster, make that monster 3k attack, and make it so that the Cypher Dragon himself is the only monster that can attack directly that turn. Then you could slap the full armor on top of him, who can detach a material to destroy any face-up card. Then you can slap Cypher Blade on top of full armor, who can detach a material to destroy any card. Basically, just by going into one rank 8, you can get rid of 3 of the opponent's cards. However, if you don't have a way to do enough damage to the opponent without attacking directly, then you may choose not to activate the original Cypher Dragon's effect so that you can still attack them for game that turn. This is going to be something you'll do just by normal summoning Galaxy Knight to revive Galaxy Eyes, after you've likely baited out all the interruptions with your other plays, because this play isn't reliant on your other plays resolving. Baiting out all your opponent's interruptions, then getting a huge swing and card advantage by breaking most of their board is going to be a big deal. So even if you don't win that turn, there's a good chance that you'll win the next turn. You can also set this up on your follow-up turn pretty easily just by using 2 of your monsters to go into another copy of Soul Flare. You could even use Soul Flare to go into another Soul Flare. Then you can add back Galaxy Knight for its normal summon effect, and you'll be golden. Even better with Blast Dragon, because on the opponent's turn, Blast Dragon can revive Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon from the graveyard, giving you a free material to use on your follow-up turn. This play can actually be strengthened quite a bit though on a follow-up turn with the second part of the skill. If you have Galaxy Eyes in hand, you can discard it to put Galaxy Eyes Cloud Dragon on the board face down, and then you can flip summon him that turn. He has the effect to tribute himself to revive a Galaxy Eyes from hand or grave, and if he's in grave, he can attach himself to a Galaxy Eyes Xyz as material. So basically, if you use this at some point during your plays, then you could have your Cypher Blade Dragon detach the full armor, have Cloud Dragon revive full armor, and then have the Cloud Dragon attach itself to the full armor so you can get off yet another destruction, and you'll have even more damage on the board too. This can be pretty easily done if you are on your follow-up turn by summoning another Soul Flare to get Galaxy Eyes back to hand to discard for the skill, but to do this you'd already need to have a Galaxy Knight in hand to normal summon and revive Galaxy Eyes to go into the Galaxy Eyes Xyz package in the first place. But you could also search for another copy of Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon if you still happen to have the Photon Orbital. By now, we've gone over what we can do going first, what we can do going second, and what we can do on our follow-up play. You should be able to do these things pretty consistently. However, there are going to be situations where you don't have everything you need to do your combos, and in those cases, there are still plays that you can make. If you don't have any level 4s in hand, you aren't going to be able to go into the rank 4 play, but you may still be able to set up your Soul Flare and your Felgrand, and that board is nearly as good. Because of the fact that you'll play 3 Galaxy Eyes, 3 Galaxy Knight, and 3 Galaxy Soldier, you're pretty much guaranteed to have one of them, which will give you access to all 3 of Galaxy Eyes, Galaxy Knight, and Galaxy Brave. Galaxy Soldier, of course, achieving this by searching for what you need to activate the skill. Just by having the Galaxy Knight, Galaxy Eyes, and Galaxy Brave, you're going to be able to pretty easily get 3 monsters on the board, 2 of which can go into a rank 8, and the other of which can be used alongside any other monster you can summon to make the link to Soul Flare. I will say though, it is preferable to use Galaxy Eyes to go into Soul Flare so that the Soul Flare can add it back to hand for the discard on the opponent's turn. Any other extender gives you what you need to go into that Soul Flare, and if that extender happens to be a level 4, then you don't need to worry about this combo since you will be able to do the other main combo instead. However, if it is a Galaxy Soldier, then you'll be all good. If you have Galaxy Soldier and you already have what you need to activate the skill, technically Galaxy Soldier can search another copy of itself to special summon itself. But of course you'll need to get enough light monsters to discard for this, and Galaxy Eyes himself is pretty good discard fodder since he will be revived with Galaxy Knight. This deck really just kind of plays with what it's got and ends on the best board it can end on based on that, and you'll be figuring it out as you play. This is the kind of deck where if you misplay, you'll be able to pretty easily see what you should do better next time. Really practicing this deck for a little while is probably going to take you most of the way to mastering this deck's combos, but if you feel like there's something you aren't getting and you need some help, save a replay you think you might have done something wrong in and show it in the 6K community Discord, and the Galaxy Photon experts will be able to help you see where you might have been able to do better and how you could do better next time. If you are having trouble finding a Galaxy Photon expert, tag Cybergears in the Galaxy Eyes channel and he will be sure to help you out. Trust me, this guy knows what he's doing with the deck, and he's the one that showed me how it works. Technically, all of the end boards you can make in this deck actually get better if you happen to open a particular card, and that's Hyper Galaxy. This card isn't searchable, but is going to be way stronger for you than any staple you could play. It's a quick play that lets you tribute a monster from each side of the field that each have 2k or more attack, and special summon a Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon from the deck. If you set this, you can use your spent up interruptive monster or one of your fodder monsters on board to remove an opponent's monster without destroying, and get a protective body on board that can banish something that attacks it, making it harder for them to kill you. You can also use this to help you play through your opponent's board. If your opponent tries to do something to your monster, you can tribute it and get out the Galaxy Eyes while simultaneously getting rid of any opponent's interruptive monsters. It's super versatile and powerful, so definitely gonna play 3 copies of this. But I will say, it's not that good against something like Live Twins, so you could definitely side it out for another staple. This is what I believe to be the best version of Galaxy Eyes, but there are definitely some things you could do differently based on your personal preference. That said, there are still things you gotta do regardless of your personal preference, so let's go over them. So that we have consistent access to the skill, we have to play 3 Galaxy Eyes and 3 Galaxy Knight, because just opening one of them gives us a whole combo regardless of what other combos we have, and we do have to play the 1 Galaxy Brave for the skill to search for. For even more consistency, we should play 3 Galaxy Soldier. If for some reason we don't open Galaxy Eyes or Galaxy Knight, the Soldier is going to get it for us, and being able to open Soldier as much as possible is going to give us the extension we need to make our best board. You gotta play 3 Photon Orbital because not only is it going to be the card that has Blast Dragon protecting itself by equipping it, it's also one of the ways that we can summon Blast Dragon in the first place by having it search for Vanisher. Now Vanisher itself is something you can play as many copies as you want. You need to play the bare minimum of 1, but if you wanted to play 2 copies or 3 copies for consistent access to the rank 4 play, that would be fine too. The only thing is that Vanisher, as opposed to the other cards we can play multiples of, can only really be used once the whole duel, since there's only 1 rank 4 to summon in this deck. Of course, it can be used to summon another link too, but that's a bit cope, and if you have multiple Vanisher in hand, that really does suck. The rank 4 play is going to be a bit less consistent if you play 1 Vanisher, since it will mean that you only have 4 level 4s in your deck, and that's not so easy to guarantee, but it's totally fine to not end with a rank 4, since the interruptions we put up without it are still solid, and our follow-up is still solid. We can make it more consistent without bricking though by playing Trade-In. It's a spell that lets you discard a level 8 to draw 2 cards. This can be pretty free by discarding Galaxy Eyes to revive later, or bonus copies of Galaxy Eyes that you don't need, and it'll help you to draw into important extension like your level 4s or your Galaxy Soldier. You can play whatever ratio of Trade-In makes the most sense to you. I've got 2 in here, but you could still play 1 or 2 if that's your preference. You could even cut this card if you wanted to play more Vanisher. For the second part of the skill, we do have to play the 1 copy of Cloud Dragon, so we got that in there, and since Hyper Galaxy is so good, we got 3 copies of it in here, but if you don't like Hyper Galaxy for whatever reason, or if the format requires you to play something else, then these slots could be used for a staple card. The extra deck just has 1 copy of every extra deck monster we've already talked about this video, a copy of Ding Gearsu to deal with difficult cards and bait out interruption before we go into our other rank 8s going second and following up, and a second copy of Soul Flare for the fact that it can help you follow up. This is one of those decks that kind of seems to build itself, to be honest, and the combos, once you know them, are really easy to replicate. And if at any point during your combos you are interrupted, you'll still have the Galaxy Knight to normal summon to still at least give you the rank 8 play. So this is quite nice against interruptions too. Like I said, you can do what you like when it comes to Vanisher, Trade-In, and Hyper Galaxy, but at the end of the day, I'm not here to tell you how to build your deck, I'm just here to show you how to play it. So without further ado, it's time to do. Alright, going first here, and look at that, we have a trade-in. We have one of our level 8. So we can use the skill right off bat to reveal our Galaxy Knight to give ourselves the Photon Dragon and the Galaxy Brave. Now at this point the skill asks you to discard it. If you don't have Trade-In or Galaxy Soldier, you discard the Photon Dragon. But if you do, then don't discard it, because you want to keep it as discard fodder for the other 2. You always want to get Photon Dragon Grave, but you don't want to minus yourself by doing it. So we're going to use the Trade-In, getting rid of that Photon Dragon drawing 2. We got the Vanisher. Vanisher's nice. If it wasn't Vanisher, it could have been Orbital, so we're going to reveal the Vanisher with the Brave. So the Brave summons itself as a level 4. Vanisher comes down 2, searches for another copy of Galaxia's Photon Dragon, going into the rank 4 Blast Dragon, and on summon is going to summon that Photon Dragon from hand. Hell yeah. Untargetable, by the way, because of the Blast Dragon. Then we can use the Extender Galaxy Soldier, summon itself. By discarding another copy of itself, of course we can search another Photon Dragon as discard fodder for the Link 2. Then we can go into the Link 2, and since we were able to get another Photon Dragon, we can add something back, but there's nothing to add back anyway, so we just get a Photon Dragon anyway. Then we can finally normal summon the Knight, bring that Dragon back, go into Dragon Knight Felgrand, set our Hyper Galaxy, and this is goddamn the best board you ever seen in your life. Let's see what the opponent can do. We got 3 interruptions, and 2 of them are untargetable and indestructible, so that's kind of insane. Yeah, he's going to use Tenki, he's going to search for Yellow Martin, so he's doing the Lunalight combo here. He's going to use Emerald Bird, okay? He's going to draw 1, discard 1, and if he discards the Yellow Martin, he gets a search off. It's all in effect, so I do want to negate him here with the Felgrand, but also negating with the Felgrand means that it's going to be unaffected by card effects. But that's actually kind of good when you're playing against a fusion deck. Monsters being used as fusion material does count as a card effect. So now not only is Emerald Bird negated, but Emerald Bird is also unable to be used as fusion material, so it's going to be a lot harder for him to make his plays. But he does have the Black Sheep here to give himself a poly, and he's going to go into his Saber Dancer here using all materials from his hand. He's going to use the Yellow Martin here to search for Lunalight Fusion, but since he can't use Emerald Bird, he can't use Emerald Bird and Saber Dancer together to go into Leo Dancer with using the Panther Dancer from the extra deck, because the Emerald Bird is unaffected, and you can't bounce it with Yellow Martin either because it's unaffected, so it's just not going to happen, pretty much. He's just going to be satisfied with this. I'm going to revive the Photon Dragon here. He's going to get rid of my Felgrand. He's going to get rid of his own Emerald Bird because it's probably annoying the hell out of him, and he's going to have a bigger Saber Dancer for it. So 4100, untargetable, so nothing I have on board right now can deal with it, but that's fine. Photon Orbital is going to equip, and Photon Orbital is going to search for the Galaxy Knight. What am I using that for? Anyway, I'm going to link these 2 off into another Soul Flare, to be honest, mainly to clear up my main monster zone so I can make another rank 8. Add the Photon Orbital back. Orbital can equip itself to the dragon here to make himself untargetable. Then I can summon my Galaxy Knight, revive Galaxy Eyes, and go in for the rank 8 Ding Gearsu, who doesn't target, he doesn't destroy, he just says goodbye. I can discard with a skill to get my Cloud Dragon. I'm just flexing at this point. Clearly I've already won. I'm going to tribute to bring back Galaxy Eyes, and it's just an easy GG's. Just an easy GG's. Alright, I am going first again, and look at that, I have Trade-In and Photon Dragon again, and a couple Galaxy Soldiers, so I clearly have discard fodder out the ass, right? So I can use the skill, revealing my Photon Dragon to give me the Knight and the Brave, giving me everything I need. Then I can use the Galaxy Soldier to thin the deck a bit, discarding my other Galaxy Soldier and searching for another Galaxy Knight for follow-up, discarding that Photon Dragon to draw 2, and hey, look at that, I got a level 4. It's over. Now I can reveal that Orbital, summon my Brave as a level 4, have it gain some attack as well. Orbital is going to equip, it's going to search for Vanisher here. Vanisher is going to special summon and search for the Photon Dragon, and with 2 level 4s I can go into Blast Dragon in the main monster zone, use the Blast Dragon to summon the Photon Dragon from hand. And before I do anything else, I'm also going to equip the Orbital so he's untargetable, summon the Soul Flare. Soul Flare is going to add back the Photon Dragon Dragon. You gotta do this if you don't have one in hand, because you need a discard for the pop. Just always keep that in mind. But now we can normal summon the Galaxy Knight. Galaxy Knight is going to revive Galaxy Eye. We can go into our Felgrand. There's our board. Easy money. Their turn, what are they on? They're going to use S-Force Bridgehead searching for retroactive. They're going to normal summon retroactive, and I'm going to wait for them to activate. Then I'm going to negate them and make them unaffected. Their combo has to stop now. If they want a combo, they better do it on my turn, buddy, because I don't really want them to search for S-Force Chase. But even if they do search for S-Force Chase, it does target, and all of my guys are currently untargetable, so there is that. But yeah, on end phase, I'm going to bring back the Photon Dragon, making sure, by the way, that the Felgrand detached the Photon Dragon so that I could do that as well. Then I'm going to link these two off into the Soul Flare so that the Soul Flare can add back the Brave. He's going to use Bottomless Trap Hole, okay? And nothing happens because it destroys before it vanishes, and he's indestructible. Who cares? He's got 2k or more attack. But yeah, now he's going to use his retroactive. He's going to do his combo on my turn. He's going to use the Chiamaru to banish, summon the Platina. Platina resummons Gravitino and searches for Showdown. He has a chase back there too. I'm going to activate Brave because of the fact that he is reducing my attack with Platina. Blast Dragon is now targetable. So after I go into Cypher Dragon, his chase. However, he doesn't know that he can't target my Cypher Dragon and my Soul Flare, so he waited for me to go into Cypher Dragon so that he could banish it with the S-Force Chase. It doesn't work like that, buddy. It doesn't quite work like that. Check it out. I'm going to go into the full armor Photon Dragon. He's going to pop 1. And I'm going to go into the Cypher Blaze Dragon and detach full armor to pop again. And wait, before we end the replay, I could also discard the Photon Dragon with a skill to put Cloud Dragon on the field, so I could revive the full armor, equip the full armor with a Cloud Dragon, and pop again for even more damage. But of course it would be overkill. He just scoops. He doesn't want to see me play. You see how much this deck can do? It's absolutely insane, the pluses this skill gives us. And the fact that most of our combo is going to be protected by targeting and destruction by setting up the Blast Dragon first is just the icing on the cake. You can't Veiler Photons, bro. But yeah, guys, we want to know how you guys feel about the deck. Do you like the way it's played now? Do you wish we had Photon Lord back? And do you prefer Galaxy Photons or Tachyon? If you have any other questions about the deck or in general, be sure to leave them in the comments. And if you like the video, then slap like now. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the bell to get notified every time we make a new video. Have yourselves a good one, guys. And I've been Undead from Team 6K, signing out.
Hey, why they gotta hate on me? I done got me 250,000 views and they still saying they low key. They ain't wanna come work with the kid, but I'm flexing with Zay on beats. How they ask for a spot at the gym, but they leave all the weight on me. I don't ask them to wait on me. They would ask where they gon' be with a song if they wanted the weatherman. I ain't asking to pay no fees. She was homeless and needed a spot. I ain't ask her to pay no lease. I ain't ask her to say no please. I ain't ask her to make no cheese. Scream fake, but it ain't on me. Got clean so it ain't no streets. Why green if it ain't no keeps? Brought cream so it ain't no beef. My team say it ain't no chief. My demon, they hang on me. They seemingly ain't no peace. I seen him, he ain't no beast.